Oh my God. You know, this started way back in 2022 when Eric Ten Hag came in through and a story was broken by, what's the name? Is it Gerard Romero, that fly on the wall in Barcelona, that Barcelona have gone ahead to decide to sell Frenkie de Jong, and we spent close to 5 months chasing after the signing of Frenkie de Jong. And remember, we had two naive people at the job, that was Richard Mata and Richard Arnold and John Mata, who fled to Barcelona twice, and they failed to see to it that this deal really comes to an end. But this time around, it looks like it's back in full pelt, and it looks like the player is pushing to leave the club of Barcelona. The other time, it was the club pushing to sell Frenkie de Jong, and Frenkie de Jong was like, I don't want to leave the club of Manchester. I don't want to leave the club of Barcelona. I still have lots of things to do here. But this time around, the club wants to sell the player and the player wants to leave. And this is why we come in high gear and really get a title that Frenkie de Jong Greenlights his transfer to United in the summer. Eric Ten Hag is the happiest man. I know every team in the world would love to be having a Frenkie de Jong in their side, and this guy is really good and is going to obviously show us his capabilities. And trust me, at his 26 years of age, making 27 in like 3 months from now, I think he'll be the best signing ever to ever come and grace the side of Man United, because Ten Hag wanted him before he came here. He talked to him, convinced him, but guess who really went ahead to ruin the deal? It was the board of Man United. And with us having one of the best football boards in the world, trust me, the rest is going to be history. We thank God for the gift of life. The Muslims, Juma Karim, welcome back from the mosques. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel, because we want to hit 17,000 subscribers before the end of this month, and smash the like button. Close to how many times? Close to 200 times. This is a Frenkie de Jong story that has gone ahead to gain momentum, and we're here to obviously bring you this story. And let's obviously start it off from where it really began. And where did it begin from? Obviously, it's One's TV. Obviously, it's in Spain. They told us that Frenkie de Jong is not ruling out leaving Barcelona this summer. Manchester United are very interested in signing him. Have you heard? Manchester United are very interested in signing Frenkie de Jong. After that, guy breaking the story, we went ahead to really get a story from real level that Frenkie de Jong has given the green light to leave FC Barcelona this summer. So meaning that the player is wanting to leave this. Before I obviously break down this, I just wanted to allow me drop this, allow me drop these stories and obviously give them to you. Then we have Axel Pinatel, that all these are Spanish reports. He has told us that Frank de Jong's departure is looking more likely by the summer. The club have doubts on the player's performances compared to when they signed and are looking to sell him. The Dutchman also earns the high salary on the team. So you've gone ahead to see that very well coming in through from Frenkie de Jong. Then One's TV added and said Frank de Jong is frustrated with the expectations he set upon his arrival at Barcelona, such as winning trophies such as Champions League and having a competitive team. He's very disappointed with the club. 2022 is not far. Maybe he was like, I'm 24 years right now. Let me give it a little bit of a go of some years, like 2 seasons, and really see how things are really going to pan out. And you saw to it that they had gone ahead to fall out with Xavi. Xavi couldn't obviously even get him what we call into the starting 11 of Barcelona during the preseason in America of 2022. And you saw it very well that he tried to obviously opt him out of the team, and he was forcing him to leave, and the player was like, I'm not leaving. Played him as a central defender, but this guy said, I'm here for keeps, and he stayed for Barcelona. But 2 years down the road, looks like Xavi has gone ahead to throw in the towel. He's not sure of the new manager coming in through and what the plans of the team are, because you can only know the plans of the team when you're really consistently leaving that side. And if at all you're not really leaving that side and you're really having a manager who is going to give you the best that you deserve, then you'll obviously have to show off. So when you look at all those stories that Frenkie de Jong wants really green light to leave, has green lighted to leave Barcelona, he is really at the age where he's going to know that however much I'm earning out of money at Barcelona, there are certain things I need to embrace. Now, Man United has never really stopped showing their interest in signing this guy. Every other day that passes by, Manchester United keeps knocking on the door of Frenkie de Jong to sign the player. That is it. They've kept themselves in the know, and they've kept themselves wanting to really get this player onto the Carrington and Old Trafford. And trust me, no team doesn't want Frenkie de Jong. And with this story coming in through, very many clubs are going to obviously put themselves in the line to obviously get this player. Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, and very many other elite teams in the Premier League. They are going to be looking to sign this player. And he's really very, very, very good. When you look at this season, Frenkie de Jong has going to obviously be played in the midfield. And he has gone ahead to play 15 games in the La Liga, and he has 1 goal. And it's shocking that he has 0 assists this season. Very, very, very shocking, because this is one of the things that he has gone ahead to be doing season in, season out. He's not an injury-prone player. That obviously gives him a tick to see to it that he obviously gets into this team of Manchester United. And if you're Manchester United fan, the big question you should ask yourself is this guy important to the club of Man United? Let me bring you up to speed. If you're watching us for the very first time, maybe you've just gone ahead to get to hear a story that Eriksen is one of those players that Ten Hag wants to move on in the summer. He's on that list of players to exit the club of Man United in the summer, and that really happens to be Eriksen leaving the club of Man United, meaning that with Eriksen leaving and Amrabat still in doubt on whether United are going to make his loan permanent from Fiorentina, we need another set of midfielders. Scott McTominay might also leave. So in the summer, we might lose 3 midfielders of the many that you are having. In the names of Scott McTominay, in the names of Eriksen and Sofian Amrabat. What does that mean? It means you'll need a Frenkie de Jong. And the Frenkie de Jong offers 2 things. He can play as a CDM. He can play next to Casemiro. He can play into the position of Bruno Fernandes. So if you get in Frenkie de Jong, you would have gone ahead to get in Eriksen and Amrabat in one, because he can play as a CDM, shoot the back 4, and is good at passing that ball. And I just can't imagine that midfield of Casemiro and Casemiro and Frenkie de Jong and Kobe Mainoo, all either Casemiro, Frenkie de Jong and Kobe Mainoo, all that is possible. So I think there is much space for this guy to come in through, and he gets straight into the team of Man United. And one of the big factors that is going to be leading this transfer to where I want it to be is the new people at the club of Man United. When you look at Jean-Claude, experienced man that can really lead any football conversation and get in good players. He did it at Juventus, he did it at PSG, and he's now at Manchester United. Then the other guy that is here is David Bracefold. He's really good at footballing terms, and the CEO Omar Berrada, who was formerly at Barcelona, and he worked at Man City for the last 8 years, meaning that he can also go ahead and really lead these talks. He has gone ahead to do this on several occasions, and trust me, he has gone ahead to show up what we call positive results, and no one has gone ahead to doubt his abilities. Then when you look at the recruitment officer that we're looking at, that is Paul Michu. He's good at doing such deals, and Ash Worth, the new director of football that Man United is set to announce very soon. So I confirm to you, there is no team that is going to obviously stand in the way of Frenkie de Jong, provided that board of United approves that guy. The role of Ten Hag is one: sit that team of United down and tell them that we need this guy. We need this guy, and why we need him. So if we get him in, it's going to be really important. But the factors are really great. It's not like the other time that the player was not 100% willing to. He was like 50-50, right? But the team 100% wanted to sell in. We even went ahead to agree a fee of this guy, and we wanted him, but all was in vain. So this time around, the team wants to sell, and the player wants to go, and Ten Hag is like a happy man, and is like texting this guy, I would love to bring you to the club of Man United. And when we get him in, trust me, you'll see the real style of football that he wants to see Erik ten Hag play at the club of Manchester United. Now, let's go to the reasons as to why Barcelona are really wanting to sell this player and why also the player wants to leave. We've been told by Victor Malo, also coming in from Spain, that FC Barcelona want to earn 200 million euros from player sales this summer by selling two important players. Frenkie de Jong and Ronald Araujo are the main candidates to leave, pending further confirmation. So, they want to sell Frenkie de Jong for 100 million euros and this guy known as Araujo for 100 million euros. And trust me, in this market, getting this guy for at 100 million euros, I think he's really good. He's a very good player that you have to agree with us that he's really gonna make rounds, at the side of Man United. You tell me getting in this guy at 100 million euros, I get him in because the world is really funny right now. Frenkie de Jong at 100 million euros, I'll 100% agree with. Why do I say he's gonna cost that? Because I've seen stories linking Araujo to the side of Bayern Munich, and Barcelona want 100 million euros, and Barcelona are really in bad state to really get in their money. So all they want is money. If they get 100 million euros in, they'll obviously try to do the needful and really build their team. Then we also had I think there is a tweet I'm gonna hate to miss out here. Let me try and really find it. 200 million euros. There is this tweet about Frenkie de Jong's salary that I was gonna hate to see the team of Barcelona really saying they should see this player leave. Frenkie de Jong's future at Barcelona is uncertain. He's getting closer to leaving the club. Barcelona will listen to good offers. So this is real level, and this is what they've gonna hate to say about this deal. Real level is one of the credible sources coming in through from Spain, and when you hear them speak, just know Barcelona is gonna hate to speak. Now we're waiting for Gerard Romero to see whether he really has a close clue onto this story. Releva has told us that Frenkie de Jong's future at Barcelona is more uncertain than ever. He's getting closer to leaving the club. Barca will listen to any good offers for him. Now, United had already agreed a deal of Frenkie de Jong. Personal terms had been agreed with Frenkie de Jong and everything, but we all know the reason as to why that deal fell through. It was all because of the deferred wages. So those deferred wages went ahead to see to it that they really stand in the way of such a deal to obviously give it a go to happening. Now, this time round, 100 million euros for Frenkie de Jong. That means we should be adding 15 million euros more, and I think that is like 86 million pounds. For Frenkie de Jong, getting him at 86 million pounds, he's really great because he's gonna be 27 in May. 27 in May, you get him a player, world-class player, very good at passing the ball, and he is really a player that will see the likes of Kobe Mainoo go in where they deserve to be. And my biggest plus for that is I've always wanted to see Bruno Fernandes getting someone to compete with. And when Frenkie de Jong comes in through, because of Casemiro and Kobe Mainoo's presence, then we'll have to see another guy coming in through to do the needful. And I think that guy is gonna be Frenkie de Jong. He can play into that Bruno Fernandes position very well. So it will depend on how Ten Hag really wants to plan for his team, but this guy is really great. And I've gotten another reason as to why Barcelona really want to get this player out of the club. He's really earning a lot of money and they're really having financial problems, and to strengthen their squad they need to really get him out. This is level adding to the previous tweet I've gonna hate to show you or post. Frenkie de Jong's salary this season is 24.8 million euros. He's one of the highest earners in the team. FC Barcelona believe that the club will have to sell an important player this summer, and Frenkie de Jong is a favorite to leave. So the player is up for sale. They want to sell him and he has nothing to do. He also has a chance to obviously put his goodies in there for you. Now, let me convert this man and see. 24 8 million euros. I want to see exactly how much money this guy is really getting per week, divided by 52, the number of weeks. So this guy earns close to 500,000 euros per week. That's a huge amount of money, and they cannot really afford it. So that's one of the huge reasons as to why they want to sell this player. So Deco, when he was asked about the story of Frenkie de Jong really leaving the club of Barcelona, this is what he had to say. He said about selling Frenkie de Jong and Araujo, the ideal is not to sell any player and incorporate to all three. If we are focused to sell, we will do without touching the hearts of the team. Now, I understand Araujo has gone ahead to come in through and do a good job at Barcelona, but right now, Barcelona needs money to obviously see their La Masia Academy graduates coming through and thrive. Trust me, Barcelona has gone ahead to get in players that have gone ahead to show to it that they can be young, but they need the experience around them. And if you sell Araujo and Frenkie de Jong and you get in 100 million euros, that will help you get in a CDM that you want, like a Zubimendi, to play into that midfield alongside Pedri and Gavi. I think if you get Zubimendi and you play him alongside Pedri and Gavi, or you get in one player like Zubimendi to play him alongside Pedri and Ika Gundogan, it really acts well for the club of Barcelona. So in the central defense, they can get other defenders to do the job, because Barcelona is a team that is not going to have to be built onto a very good defense. It's all about a possession-possessed side. So I think they need that money to really sign even other two players that are really doing great. João Cancelo, I think, can do a very good job at the side of Barcelona. They can sign him from Manchester City, and even João Felix, who has gone ahead to really come out and really, he has gone ahead to come out and really shine very, very, very well. So to me, I think Deco cannot come out and say that the guy is up for sale, but the summer will tell. Sources are showing that this player is up for sale and has gone ahead to Greenlights his transfer to Man United in the summer. Now, your thoughts on to Frenkie de Jong greenlighting his United transfer in the summer are welcome in the comment section below. And what are your thoughts about that? Rokan David is my name. Hope you guys are really having fun. Most of them is Barakallahu Fikum. We thank God for the gift of life. See you later when the match preview really loads onto this channel in the next 2 or 3 hours from now, as I break it down, Aston Villa hosting Man United and why we need to kill off that game and really win it off. Me out for now. See you later. Bye bye, my mates.